Hey yo, football fans, it's another great year. Fantasy football fiends, grab your beer. Giving you the best draft tips for your picks. Starts and sits to the waiver wire fix. From my drafts galore to stats that's hardcore. Triple F does it all, have y'all screaming more. So sit back, relax, let the experts prevail. JT Magnum, Siggy guns never fail.
What's up, fantasy football fans? My name is JT Magnum. Welcome back to week 14 of our Stardom SitEm show. I'm not going to get into a lot of stuff very quickly. I have a very short time. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to put up a lot of text on screen text if you want this video out to be fast, which is what I'm trying to do, is make this video fast. It is Wednesday. I'm doing this on the day of. I've been crazy busy at work. It's the holiday season, so I'm busy at work. I'm busy with things going on in this, my new house and everything. I'm busy with a lot of stuff. So in order to get you guys videos, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take apart some things, which are the text. So let's get right into it, guys. I'm sorry about the text. Like I said, you're going to have to listen to what I have to say instead of read it on the screen. So I apologize, but hey, it is what it is, and if you want to hear some of the stuff, this is what I have to do right now, all right? So let's move into it. No injury report. I'm not going to get into that right now. We're going to get right into the rewind, and I had my good start of the week last week was Marcus Mariota. He scored 35.92 points versus the Jaguars, and my bad start of the week was Jarvis Landry with 0.50 points against that horrible Baltimore secondary that I don't know why he couldn't get a catch. I guess he was a little banged up, but we'll see. The best sit of the week, Adrian Peterson, 2.40 points versus Seattle. I can't believe I got that correctly, because if you were bold enough to sit him, hey, kudos to you, and I hope that the other guy you put in did well. The bad sit of the week, Blake Bortles. I always get a really bad one. 32.78 points against the Titans, who have been great against the pass, but just Blake Bortles for some reason ate him up last week. So let's get right into the waiver wire. I'm going to talk about these 3 waiver wire picks because I feel it's important now that you start thinking about what you're going to do, especially coming towards the playoff time. If you're trying to make the playoffs or you're struggling a little bit and you're almost there and you need some, you need a cool waiver wire pickup to maybe put you over the edge this week. I got 2 49ers in there. It's going to be shocking, I know, but they're playing the Browns, and the Browns haven't been that great on defense, and they have been suspect in the secondary, especially with injuries and things. So the first one's Vance McDonald at the tight end. He's in the concussion protocol right now, so if not, look for Blake Bell at tight end, but right now, Vance McDonald. 49ers don't have any tight ends left, and they love to use tight ends. So look for Vance McDonald this week to, have a pretty good game against that Cleveland horrible defense, like I said. Seth Roberts, the wide receiver from the Oakland Raiders. Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper are going to be facing Chris Harris and Aqib Talib on the outside. They've been shutting down receivers all year long. Look for Seth Roberts to be the guy out of the slot or somewhere else, because they're not going to be keying on him as much. He'll have a little bit more one-on-one matchups, and they'll be able to throw the ball to him. Torrey Smith from the 49ers had an okay game last week. He had a big touchdown catch. That's what put him over the edge, but they've been using him a little bit more here and there lately. I look for him to have a good game. Like I said, it's like a 1 week thing against the Cleveland Browns, who have been, like I said, not good against the pass. So let's get to the stardom portion. The quarterback starts of the week: Jameis Winston, Blake Bortles, and Tyrod Taylor. We'll talk about Jameis Winston. He's playing the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints have given up the most points to fantasy quarterbacks all year long. So look for Jameis Winston to just kill it in New Orleans or in Tampa against New Orleans. All right? We got the running back starts of the week: Lamar Miller, TJ Yeldon, and Sean Drawn again. Another 49er. And like I said, the Cleveland Browns have not been good on defense, and they have given up so many rush yards although they've been better of late, but they still give up a lot of rush yards to running backs. And look for Sean Drawn, who's pretty much been the workhorse now for the 49ers. He doesn't even come out of the game. But I'll talk about Yeldon real quick against the Indianapolis Colts. He ran for 100 yards against them the last time. Look for him to not stop that at all. He might run for maybe close to 200 in this one, because Indianapolis Colts just suck against the run. They can't stop the run, and TJ Yeldon is a workhorse back. He's going to run all over them. So we got wide receiver starts of the week. We got Sammy Watkins, Allen Hurns, and Doug Baldwin. Sammy Watkins and Doug Baldwin have been on fire, but I'll talk about Doug Baldwin. They're playing that horrible Baltimore secondary. That Baltimore secondary has not been good this year. They just been horrible against the pass. And who's been on fire? Doug Baldwin. He's scoring tons of touchdowns, tons of yards, and Russell Wilson is on fire, throwing deep bombs to this dude. This dude has just been going off as of late. Look for Doug Baldwin to keep that going against the Ravens. We got tight end starts of the week. Delaney Walker, Eric Ebron, and Travis Kelce. And I'll talk about Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron, I think he's going to take off against this Rams team. He's been, as of late, getting more and more touches as Stafford's getting more and more comfortable throwing the ball to him. And I like Eric Ebron going against the Rams, who have been just abysmal, everything as of late. They've been losing games in a row, and they haven't played well on defense or offense. So let's get into the defenses. Defensive starts of the week are the Chiefs, the 49ers. I'm going to keep on with this theme. And the Packers. I'll talk about the 49ers. The reason why I put them as a start is because Johnny Manziel is playing. Johnny Manziel tends to make some mistakes here and there. And with those mistakes come turnovers. With those mistakes come points off turnovers sometimes. And the 49ers can maybe take advantage of that. So let's get into the sit-em portion. The quarterback sits of the week are Derek Carr, Matt Ryan, and Ben Roethlisberger. I'll talk about Derek Carr. Quarterbacks have not been able to do much against Denver unless your name is Tom Brady. Derek Carr threw for 200-something yards, 269 yards, I believe, the first time they threw against him, but there was no points. There was no touchdowns. So it was just, it's hard to score against this Denver team. It's hard to do anything against this Denver team. They've just not been kind to quarterbacks. Running back sits of the week. We got Latavius Murray, Eddie Lacy, and Jeremy Hill. I will talk about Jeremy Hill. They're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not been good against the run. They've been good against the run. The teams have not been able to run against them. Teams a lot pass the ball against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've been horrible against the pass, but look for Jeremy Hill, who's been up and down. He's been up and down all year long. You don't know if it's him or Bernard. You don't know who's going to get the ball. You don't know who's going to do what. And it just seems like you can't judge which one is going to do anything in weeks to come. And it's just been frustrating with Jeremy Hill owners. But is what it is, and I don't think he's going to get much rushing yards against that Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Wide receiver sits, I have two Raiders, Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, along with Julio Jones. And I'll talk about Julio Jones, Josh Norman. Josh Norman has been shutting down wide receivers all year long. And I'm talking number one wide receivers. He has been all over them like white on rice. And that dude is insanely just playing on a level that is beyond I've never seen before in a guy. He's just shutting down quality wide receivers. So look for Julio Jones to be shut down in this one as well. I just don't see. He might get maybe 4 or 5 catches, but it won't be for much. Tight end sits of the week. We got Zach Ertz, Jason Witten, and Jordan Reed. I'll talk about Jason Witten. Here's another guy struggling. It could be obviously because his best buddy in the world, Tony Romo, has been hurt all year. So Matt Castle has just not been able to deliver the ball to him, not been able to do much of anything moving the offense wise, and Jason Witten he's suffering because of it. So look for him to just not keep going at all against that Green Bay Packers defense, who needs a game like this, needs an offense like this to come in to gain some confidence back, because they've been playing horrible as of late. Defensive sits now of the week. We got Texans versus the Patriots, of course. Vikings at Arizona and Bengals at Pittsburgh, and we will talk about the Vikings. The Vikings have a killer amount of injuries right now on that defense. It's not the same defense that they started with at the beginning of the year. They got another linebacker and cornerback out this week against the Cardinals. And when you're playing at Arizona against Carson Palmer and that offense, the way they throw the ball around, there's just no way in heck you're going to be able to stop it. And if you have the Vikings defense tonight, this week is a good week to find a substitution or find somebody else, especially if you're in a playoff hunt. Let's get into the sleeper portion. The 3 sleepers of the week are David Johnson, Marcus Wheaton, and Scott Chandler. I will talk about Scott Chandler. No Gronk. Therefore, the tight end they're going to be using is Scott Chandler. He's been scoring. He's been able to do well, and Brady's been delivering the ball. Brady doesn't care. Brady will throw to anybody who's out there who's playing, and Scott Chandler's serviceable enough to be able to catch some touchdowns, and he'll do that, I believe, in Houston. Houston hasn't been able to do well against tight ends. You saw last week with Charles Clay being able to catch a wide-open touchdown against him. Look for Scott Chandler to be that same guy this week. He might even get 2 or 3. You never know, especially with Tom Brady throwing the ball. So that does it. Leave your injury questions, leave your waiver wire questions, leave every questions you can in the comment section. I will get to them as best I can. I believe I got to pretty much every one of them last week. I'm sorry, like I said, about the no text. There's nothing I could do about it, folks. Unfortunately, it's been busy this week, and I'm trying to get these videos out to you guys as best I can, so you had to listen, and that's just the way it is. But I kept it short for you enough so you don't have to listen through 20 minutes of it. But at least, I'll be able to get to everything as much as I can. No live show this weekend. It's my wife's birthday this weekend. There's no way I could do a live show. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a live show moving forward, especially with how busy I am and with the holidays coming up. It's just not going to be able to happen. But maybe next year I can be able to make some kind of a schedule where Siggy and I can, maybe trade off and be able to do anything right now. But Siggy's so busy because he just had a baby. So a lot of things happening for the both of us, and that's why I'm pretty much doing the show solo mostly. But it is what it is. I'm just happy to bring you guys content, and I will see you next week. Best of luck. I hope you guys make the playoffs. If this is your playoff, chance week this week, it's mine as well. Best of luck this week, and stay tuned. Next week we'll be back and running, and hopefully, get you a playoff push for a championship. All right. So for JT Magnum and Fantasy Football Fiends, I'm out. Peace, y'all.